Blu-rays. I promised to start reviewing them about a year ago, and I'm just now getting to it. Today we're going to be talking about a movie that's near and dear to my heart, Robocop, with the recent 4K remastered, unrated director's cut release on Blu Ray. This may be the definitive version of Robocop to own for home video. Now, starting out with a little bit of history about the Blu-rays of Robocop, there's the Robocop trilogy. There's been about 2 or 3 releases of this movie on Blu-ray. And you're probably asking yourself, with this new re-release before the remake drops next month, is it worth the money to double dip? I'm here to tell you that your prayers have been answered. A good transfer of Robocop exists, and this is it right here. Now, this is advertised as a 4K remaster. Don't let that fool you into thinking that this is, designed for you to view on 4K televisions. That's not what it means at all. It was remastered in 4K and then down converted to fit on the Blu-ray and for it to be broadcasted in 1080p. But this is the best version of Robocop I have ever seen. It's of course, the director's cut, because frankly, what would Robocop be without all of the violence, the gore, the language? I mean, this is a movie that is full of so much violence and debauchery. It's legendary how much there is in this movie. I'm not really going to go into the movie itself because I've already done a review on the movies with the Robocop trilogy review, which you can probably find on my other channel. I had another channel where I did things like CD reviews, and I reviewed the Robocop trilogy Blu-ray set at one time. So I'm not really going to go into the actual movie itself, but the transfer, the special features, and things like that. So Robocop has been helped with the most intensive care that you could probably give to a Blu-ray. Everything has been fixed from the past transfers. The past transfers were really dark. They didn't really know what color temperature was. It just looked horrible. I mean, it was DVD quality with a Blu-ray price tag. And with this movie, it's a Blu-ray transfer with Blu-ray quality at a very, very decent price. I picked this up from Best Buy about a week ago for $7.88, roughly like that. And so right around $8, a little over $8 after tax. And probably one of the best investments I've made so far this year. And the best part is that unlike previous Blu-ray releases, which only included a theatrical trailer, this Blu-ray includes a chock ton full of special features. Granted, this is already pre-existing material. Well, for the most part, I should say. This is nice to have finally on Blu-ray. The documentaries, the commentaries, it's nice to have. You have the making of Robocop. You have a kind of retrospective on creating a legend. You have featurettes that were from 1987 while they were on the set of shooting it and making it. You have a boardroom storyboard sequence with commentary by Phil Tippett, who is a legend in special effects. Love the guy so much. He did Empire Strikes Back and, of course, Robocop, 2 of my favorite movies. You have a documentary on the villains of Old Detroit, deleted scenes, a documentary on special effects then and now, commentary with director Paul Verhoeven, writer Ed Neumeyer, and executive producer John Davison. And as I stated before, this is the unrated cut, so it's untouched. And with that being said, there is something that I have noticed about this version of Robocop. Granted, all the stuff that was shot for the theatrical release looks very, very good. However, you can tell where the unrated stuff comes in and when it goes back to your theatrical cut. What I mean by that is, for example, there is a sequence early on in the film where Alex Murphy gets blown to pieces before he becomes Robocop. Now, this sequence exists in both the theatrical and the unrated cut. The difference is that the unrated cut had a little bit more violence, had a little bit more dismemberment, a clearer shot of Murphy getting shot in the head. The quality of the picture goes down considerably when the unrated material enters the film. It's very distracting, very noticeable. I'm not sure if it would be noticeable to the untrained eye, but this is the kind of stuff that I really look for in movies. It's really, really distracting. I didn't like it that much, but overall, this is probably the best release that I'm going to get of this movie, at least until 4K becomes the norm. With this being said, this is probably the ultimate edition of Robocop that you can own. It's a classic movie. I mean, even then, it says Robocop is remastered and more arresting than ever right here on the back of the package. This is a legendary movie for a really cheap price, with plenty of special features, at least 3 hours of special features, probably. Probably most notable is that that's not listed here on the back, is that there is a QA session that was filmed in 2012 with Peter Weller, Nancy Allen, Paul Verhoeven, Phil Tippett, the writers of the film, and it really brings a little bit more insight into how painful it was to make this movie for, like Peter Weller in the Robocop suit. Basically, it's a nice Q&A session about the legacy of this movie. It's one of my top 10 movies of all time. If you've never seen this before, hi, Cat, then I recommend going and watching this movie and picking this up. It's really cheap. It gets released on Amazon today, the day that I'm filming this, but it's been at Best Buy for about 2 weeks. So pick this movie up, especially if you've never seen Robocop before. You owe it to yourself to probably see one of the most legendary action films in existence. Phantasm Mask here, signing out.